I consider harness racing as somewhat of an addiction. 120 years ago, harness racing was like NASCAR racing is now, as far as immensely popular. People like to go watch a car go fast. People like to go watch horses go fast when they were driving horses. Yes, I've been racing since I was actually 9 years old. My father purchased our first horse in 1970, and my father and my mother started racing at that time, and then I just kind of grew into it. And so I got my license to drive when I was 16, and now I'm 60, and it's just as much fun now as it was in 1971.
Harness racing is a part of American tradition, and the first tracks were built in the mid-1800s. Although people were racing at county fairs and racing each other to church on Sunday way before that.
It's the 134th annual Keokuk County Fair here in Wattier, and I have seen advertisements and written things about races that occurred here at the Keokuk County Fairgrounds in Wattier, like in 1900. So racing conducted annually for that long period of time.
The style of harness racing requires a standard-bred horse, either a trotter or a pacer. The rider is pulled in a lightweight cart behind the horse, called a sulky, instead of riding on its back. Besides that, it's like any other form of horse racing. It's about coming in first and winning the purse.
I think racing culture is involved from some of the well-to-do people to some of the poorest people. Like myself, I have the passion for racing, and some people just like to win. Well, I like to win, but also I like to just see my horse do good, and I like to develop young horses. I race 2- and 3-year-olds, and some of mine is smarter than your honor students.
Harness racing is a very family-oriented sport. I mean, it's kind of difficult to get into as far as knowing what to do and how to train the horses and so on, but it's really a bonding thing as far as parents passing on to their children and to their grandchildren and the racing, and so that's a really awesome part of harness racing in Iowa.
My uncles did it when I was little. I've been driving horses since I was 12 years old.
My brother-in-law used to have horses. He talked me into it.
Yes, so I have 4 children, and 3 of them are involved with the racing.
While waiting for the races to start, I met a lot of Southerners.
So it's nowhere to race down there for any money. So to get the value out your horses, you have to come up north. Yeah. I come up in May and I stay to like October every year.
At the Keokuk County Fairground, their oldest racer was 101.
Well, the one thing that I liked about it, you don't have to be a certain age, you don't have to be a certain size, you don't have to be an athlete, and everybody brings something to the sport. And it's more of a family sport where from the youngest to the old can be involved, and your skill determine how successful you are.
You know, I think we have 3 new owners as far as people that are racing this year that had not raced in the past, and there's probably 40 or 50 different people that are involved with the racing. So it's slowly, but the effort that it takes to train a horse is quite extensive. I mean, horses that are racing here today began exercise in February. The effort that it requires to train a horse and then having a track and facility to be able to do it is barriers to people, great numbers of people participating.
Tonto going to be second. It's Major Stall. Tonto second. In third. Big Iron. Fourth. Gorilla Cobra. Fifth. Logo 2. Bruce C. Hook Starboard 6. Scoring Machine 7.
The things that excite me most about racing then is the competition. When you're out there with horses on either side of you and you're going 30 miles an hour and the horses are going as fast as they can, it's exhilarating as far as the speed of it and the excitement of competition. So the other thing is that the best horse, the fastest horse, doesn't always win the race. If you can know when to follow along or when to go fast or when to pull out and pass or when to make your move, then sometimes you can win a race when you don't have the best horse. And so it's quite satisfying to know that you did not have the fastest horse or the best horse, but your skill in driving in the race was able to overcome that and win anyway.
Reporting from Wattier, Iowa, Bailey Cichon, The Gazette.